Oh my goodness, what is up, Jaguar students? It is your friendly neighborhood math teacher, Mr. Allred, and I am so happy and so excited to bring to you, live and in studio, Unit 4, mini lesson number 2 on the percent proportion. This right here, y'all, this right here is the most important thing in this whole unit. We will use this percent proportion to solve all of the problems in this unit, okay? And if you can master this, woo-hoo, you're going to be one amazing math student. So I've got a lot of faith in you. I hope you've got some faith in yourself. Please get ready to write down every single thing that I write down so that you can be well prepared as a math student going into this unit. All right, you got this? Let's do this thing. Let's do it. All right, here we go. This is your second entry in the table of contents, and tomorrow will be November 16th, 2017, and you're probably watching this at home thinking, gosh, why is Mr. Allred so excited right now? And that's because I am so excited about the percent proportion. It's my favorite unit of the year, and I really enjoy teaching it to kids because everything we do in this unit is about money, and every kid I've ever met likes money. So those two things go hand in hand really well. Here we go. Get ready to learn. All right. This is entry number 2. Please write down the top right-hand side of your page. Okay. Remember, in the first mini lesson, we said that the word percent means out of 100. Okay. So because of that, every percent problem that we ever see can be written as a proportion. What's a proportion? Tell Edpuzzle what you think it is right now. That's right. A proportion is 2 equal ratios. And in fact, we'll always be writing proportions just like this one in red and blue that I just put on your page, okay? Because percentages are out of 100, we can always compare the percent to 100 in one ratio, and we can always compare the part to the whole in the other ratio, okay? I'm going to tell you right now that 25% of 20 is 5. Wonder why? I'll tell you why, okay? Because 25% is like 25 out of 100. And 5 out of 20, let's call it x out of 20. If I cross multiply and divide, 100 times x is 100x, and 25 times 20 is 500. And I divide by 100 like I have been doing in every proportion problem we've solved since October, okay, that'll tell me that x is equal to 5. If I put 5 right back in there for x, and I cross multiply again, I'll see that my cross products are equal, which tells me that 5 out of 20 is like 25%. Okay? We're going to be solving problems just like this one in this mini lesson today. Okay? There's 3 kinds of problems we're going to solve. We're going to solve some problems where you're trying to find the part. We're going to try to solve some problems where you're trying to find the percentage. And we're going to try to solve some problems where you're trying to find the total. Okay? In short, every problem we solve for this whole unit will be one of those 3 kinds of problems. And you can solve every single one of them with this proportion. It's the truth. Okay? The big thing to remember is of those 4 pieces, only one of them will be missing in each problem. And that's the part that will be x, and that's the part we're going to solve for. Okay? So an example of a problem where you're missing the part would be one like this one right here that says 80% of 20 is what? Okay? I know 80% is out of 100 because percentages are out of 100. So I'm going to set up a ratio that says 80 out of 100. Then I know that the word of means whole. The word of always means whole. Okay? I'm going to try to write that down right there for you. The word of is usually going to indicate to us what the whole is. So if it says 80% of 20, I'm going to put 20 on the bottom. 20 relates to 100. That's what the is out of. I'm going to cross multiply and divide. 100 times x is 100 x's. 80 times 20 is 1600. And if you divide by 100, just like we have been solving proportions for a long time, you'll find that x is 16, which is telling us that 16 is 80% of 20. That's all it's saying. 16 is 80% of 20. And I know that because I've compared it in a proportion. Edpuzzle is going to ask you to solve very similar questions and ask you to solve number 2. If you got number 2 right, congratulations to you. If you did not, I hope you see why. And if you don't know why, I'll show you tomorrow in stations. Don't stress. Here's the next example of a problem we might solve. We might be solving for the percentage itself. So we might see a problem that says, hey, 45 is what percent of 90? Guess what? Just like I said before, we can solve all the problems in this unit just like setting up this proportion like we did earlier. Okay? It says 45 is what percent of 90? Because it says is what percent, that should indicate to you that I don't know the percentage yet. But I do know percentages are out of 100. So I'm going to say, hey, I know I'm solving for a number out of 100. It says 45 is of 90. So I know 45 is the part and 90 is the whole. Okay. And that's going to help me know how to set up the other side of my proportion. If I cross multiply and divide, 90 times x is 90 x's. 100 times 45 is 45 hundreds. If you divide both sides by 90, like we have been doing for every proportion problem for a long time, 45 divided by 90 is 50%. Since I was just solving for the percent, and to make sure I put my percent symbol there in that one. Ed Puzzle is going to ask you to choose for a list for what you got for number 2 in that what's it called, section. Okay. The last kind of problem we might solve is one where we might try to find the total. Okay. Just like we have been doing, we can always solve these the same way with that proportion. It says 12 is 8%. I know percentages are out of what? 100. That's right. Percentages are out of 100. So set up a ratio that says 8 over 100. It says 12 is. That means 12 is the part. And it says of what. That says that what, or x, if you will, is the whole. Okay? If you cross multiply and divide, just like we have been doing this whole unit and the last unit, 8 times x is 8 x's. 12 times 100 is 1200. You divide both sides by 8, like we have been doing, and that'll tell you that x is, wait, math is hard. I'll tell you that x is 150. So you've now solved 3 kinds of problems, or I have for you. You've solved 2, and you're about to solve the third one, because you're about to solve this number 2. Okay? After that, you don't need to do any more math after that. Tell Edpuzzle what you got for number 2 in that last section. Great job doing number 2. Okay? In this unit, we're going to do a lot more problems. We're going to talk about tax and tip and commission and discounts and markups and interest rates and all those problems that we solve. Every single one of them can be solved with proportions just like this one. Okay? So always think about which piece of your formula is missing and solve for it. Write that on the bottom of your page. And then remember to have a great day or not. The choice is yours. And of all my students I've ever taught, you are one of them. Have a great day. Thank you.